There you go.
All right.
Good job.
Now don't touch them. All right. Why do this? Okay, so I've talked about this a little bit over the last few months. I've talked a little bit about it, and so I wanted to give a formal presentation tonight to give you an update, first of all, and give you a little bit more in-depth information about what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And what we're trying to do is create a clear structure, a route for our students from McCook Public Schools to get into a nursing program. We have a lot of students in our high schools. Over the last couple of decades, a lot of our kids have gone into nursing. And that process is challenging. It's very competitive. And so when the traditional route is kids graduate from McCook High School, they go off to a post-secondary school, they might even start here in town with MCC, or they might go to Kearney or UNK or UNO. And they're going to be working on it. But after they get to their at the end of their sophomore year, if they're going for our Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, which is what this is, they have to apply to enter into nursing school. It's a very, very competitive process. And so what we wanted, and also when our kids leave McCook and they go to UNO Medical Center, the University of Nebraska Medical Center in Omaha, a lot of times we don't get those kids back. So the University of Nebraska recognizes this. We recognize this at the McCook Public Schools.
My name is Colin Cash. I'm one of the owners of Built Right Homes. Built Right Homes has been in business for over a decade. We do 300 to 400 full roofing, siding, gutters, window projects every single year. We've worked on over 2,500 homes in the last 10 years, from neighborhoods after Hurricane Katrina to you name it. We want to get people's homes not just back in shape, but in better condition than they were so they can get back to living their lives. We have a very high standard for quality that we're going for, and we don't want to offer any product that we can't just knock the socks off of our customers, right? We absolutely want to exceed everybody's expectations, and so we only use the absolute best materials that you can get. The best shingles, the best siding, gutters. We want our products to stand the test of time. I would put my company against any other company out there.
So is our local hospital. So how can we increase the likelihood that students will return? And this is how. We want to create this pathway here at McCook High School. Alignment of healthcare career coursework with UNMC. So we're going to align with the University of Nebraska Medical Center. We have coursework. Mr. Dickus has done a lot of work on this and looked at what we currently offer. And we feel we're in a strong position to partner with UNMC and provide some of that coursework that students need to become nurses, a Bachelor's of Nursing, right here at McCook High School. Regular advising from a UNMC nursing staff. So in this agreement, the University of Nebraska Medical Center is going to give us an advisor for our kids. That person will work directly with our students from the very beginning until they complete their program. Provisional early admission leading to full BSN. So that's really good for our kids. It's really good for our community. Why? Because when we allow a student from McCook High School to enter into the program around probably their junior year, most of them, I shouldn't say probably, most of the students will enter into that program their junior year when they're interested. And they'll get that advisor, and then once they're in, as long as they meet the prerequisites for graduation from the program, then they are getting into the program. They're going to have a spot. They won't have to apply and compete for a position with UNMC. Again, a very competitive school to get into for nursing. And that's an advantage to our kids. Now, what are some of those prerequisites? Well, a minimum GPA, it's a minimum GPA standard, which is understandable, and also a CNA certification. Now, there might be another prerequisite here or there, but those are two of the big ones, right, Mr. Dickinson?
Correct, yes.
Why this matters. Addresses McCook's and the surrounding rural communities' nursing workforce needs. So I don't know if you all know, you probably do, but there is a high demand for nurses, and not just in Nebraska, not just in McCook, but across the nation. And so we're at a point in time where we have to go out and recruit nurses. It's a tough job. And rural nursing is even more difficult because of where most of these medical schools are at. Expands high demand career opportunities for our students. So let's be honest, this is a great career for our kids that are leaving McCook High School to get a job. It's going to pay the bills and they're going to have a good life, right? Help students stay connected to McCook while preparing for a nursing career. So we're going to maintain a connection with them all the way through. So how are we going to do that? We've got a plan set up. Pathway details. There are some admission requirements. That you can see, if you look at this, some of these, it makes sense why it's going to be a junior. That 18 at application time, that's relative. There are some different caveats for that. If they're a junior and they're 17 or something, we can work something out with them. Provisional nature of early admission. Early admission is provisional, contingent on meeting progression criteria. And I already mentioned that, GPA, completion of CNA. Students are offered a seat once criteria are met. Scholarship eligibility. Students accepted into the program are eligible to apply for a UNMC nursing scholarships. Formal advising cadence, so they're going to get that advisor I talked about. And here's something that's very important. The students that enter into this program and then go on to the university system, they're not going to go to UNMC in Omaha. They're going to go to the University of Nebraska Medical Center campus in Kearney. And that was critical. Something that we wanted to keep them close to home in rural Nebraska. And something that UNMC recognized too. They won't allow the students to go to Omaha because their goal, like ours, is to keep these students, these graduates, once they finish the program, in rural Nebraska. Because according to their own metrics, they know that when the kids go to Omaha or they go to Lincoln, they stay there. They stay there. All right, but this process is going to require more than just McCook Public Schools to do this successfully, to do it well. One of the partners that I've had an opportunity to meet with most recently is with the community hospital. And I really see that we have a community hospital that supports this concept strongly. We had a very good meeting, and it looks like they're going to be a very good partner for us. And how does this benefit the hospital? So you're going to be a partner, you're going to have a benefit from it, right? And I think some of that's pretty clear without having to get into the details. Kids coming back and working in the hospital, but strengths, community partnerships focused on workforce development. That's exactly what this is. Provides early exposure for students to career and healthcare. So what we'd like to have is every kid interested in this field to start in this program, who wants to be a nurse, gets into the program and finishes. But some of them are going to get into this, and while they're still in high school, take some of our coursework and realize this is not for me. And that's good too. As much as we want the kids to finish the program, it's also good for those students to realize, you know what, I don't think nursing's my career path before they go and start spending money at the university. Builds relationships with future nurses and healthcare professionals. So obviously when we have students here at the high school, they're going to be engaged and building relationships with a community hospital. And supports long-term local recruitment and retention efforts, something we've all been working on in the community, and helps enable community hospital to lead our region to a healthier future. I threw that in, that's their mission. Just say that. Yeah. No, I know the community hospital, they knew that already. They're in attendance. How community hospital can support the pathway. Okay, this is really critical for its success. How can they support? Provide opportunities for high school students to observe, learn, grow in clinical settings. So access, right? Our kids need access. Provide financial assistance and incentives to students pursuing a BSN. And on an earlier page, these are students that would enter into this would be able to apply for UNMC scholarships. But with the right support from a community hospital, which it looks like they're prepared to do, students would have financial support from the very beginning of paying tuition and those types of things. Support that they will help them as long as, right, those students come back to McCook and serve in our community. That's like, I almost consider that like a Regent scholarship, the value of that. And align incentives with the intent for students to return to McCook Community Hospital after completing their program. Obviously, the financial incentive would guarantee that, but we want all of our kids to come back. There are McCook kids who want to come back to McCook and work in our hospital, working on, just like when our students graduate from here and go off to education college, we want to bring them back so they can teach in our classroom. Community hospital already provides financial assistance to students who plan to attend to return to McCook. This pathway offers an opportunity to better align and strengthen those existing efforts. So we really feel this fits with what the hospital is already trying to accomplish and enhances that. I haven't had a chance to sit down just yet with Mid-Plains. Do we have a date set? I can't remember. Friday. We're meeting. Yes, we have a date set. Friday. I'm meeting with Mid-Plains leadership, And our goal is to share some of these things. What are the benefits to Mid-Plains if they partner with us? Local education to workforce partnership, again, same as the hospital. Increased student enrollment at the college level courses here locally. College is always wanting to fill their classes, right? The more kids they have, their numbers increase. They like that. Supports growth in the CNA program, so all our kids should go through this program. Prerequisite, they're going to finish that CNA program. This should increase the number of students getting that CNA. And builds a stronger pipeline of students progressing into healthcare careers, and they offer their own healthcare courses, so that's something to be cognizant of. They should want to be a partner. Some of our kids may not want to go on and get their BSN, so this program isn't right for them. But they might want to become a registered nurse, and so Mid-Plains can provide them access to that program. Mid-Plains can support the pathway by collaborating with McCook High School and the University of Nebraska Medical Center nursing prerequisites requirements, helping us get as many of those prerequisites met before the students graduate from our high school, and make those courses accessible to high school students. So they offer a lot of these courses, but at times these courses aren't at the best time for our kids. And so we might be looking for alignment with scheduling and those types of things. And they've generally been very receptive to those conversations. Work jointly with McCook High School to prioritize dual credit coursework, which provides the greatest benefit to students. Now, for those of you that might not know, dual credit means they're getting a grade for, let's say, English at the high school, but it's at the college level. One of our teachers is teaching it, so they also get credit into grade at the collegiate level. So, and then coordinate with identified faculty at both institutions to ensure alignment and smooth delivery. All right, so what are the next steps? I kind of have one of them I already took care of here. I talked about this was a next step, and I met with the UNMC hospital. We do need to visit with the community hospital. I do still need to visit with the community college and discuss their involvement. Aligning, advising, and coursework to ensure smooth transition. You can see those are some things we still have to work out. So it's not completely set up, but we're well on our way. And we're in a good spot right now. Even if the community college did want to partner with us, which I can't imagine, if they did, we feel we can put some form of this together with the courses we currently offer. Conclusion. A strategic partnership to build a local nursing pipeline provides direct pathway for MPS students into a high-demand career. And we've been talking about getting kids into high-demand careers for a number of years here in McCook, and we've hired CTE teachers with career technical education, our construction classes, small engines, all these things that are skill sets that kids can go out and get jobs right away. This is just an addition to that. So when we think about career college readiness or career high-demand career preparedness, this is absolutely that. Strengthens our community by investing in local talent and builds high-quality partnerships with local healthcare providers and post-secondary institutions. Tomorrow, it's my intent to sign the formal MOU with UNMC to begin to let them know that we're serious about this process and we would like to see something happen. I think at this point it's very possible, considering how much of a partner the community hospital wants to be with us, and where we currently are in our academic setting, that we could start this as early as next school week, at the beginning of the next school year. Where if you would have asked me maybe a couple months ago, I might have said January. I'm thinking August at this point in time. And so we'll have to do, it might not start with a bang. We'll probably have to do some, like anything, marketing on it and make sure kids know that this is available to them. That might take a little time. But as that program grows, I just see more and more kids, when they see the benefit to it, they're going to want, or we're going to have kids that want to be participants. Any questions? I hate being behind it. My little clicker didn't work today. About the program, anything you'd like to know in addition to? And concerns are fine too. I don't know if there's anything that's concerning you about this.
I think it's great for our community and for our students in the hospital. And thanks for running with that, because that wasn't long ago that they presented that to us as an option. And so thanks for
thank you.
Moving forward with it and getting it where it's at. It'll be great for the students.
Yeah, I'm encouraged by it. Mr. Dickus has done a lot of work on this too. I'll thank him for the work he's done. So
I would just echo Brad's thoughts. Being married to the director of nursing for the schools, who is a graduate of the University of Nebraska Medical Center with her BS in nursing.
Yep.
you were very right. It was very challenging to get in, and she got on the first try, but this, I think, provides our kids a step up, so kudos to you guys for doing that.
And
Thanks to the hospital folks for partnering.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
honestly, I believe this, I believe this will come all together in the end. And I'm thankful to Community Hospital, I'm thankful to UNMC, because McCook, there is another school district, Scotts Bluff does this currently. Is there another one that we're aware of? Craig? All right. So just being in the conversation with UNMC, I think is awesome. So I appreciate that they want us to partner with us. And so hopefully it turns into big things for all the organizations involved. And I see this model spreading throughout Nebraska because rural healthcare, I'm actually in the process of writing a grant in coordination with the community hospital. We've just started discussions about training space and nursing simulators and those type. They have a dummy that basically is a human being. You treat the dummy like you treat the human being, and kids learn how to provide medical healthcare support through that. So we're trying to even expand. I just see this growing and becoming better for our community and our kids. And so hopefully that becomes part of this someday.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Try this out. Maybe I just need new batteries in here or something.
I think that might be it.
I think I need new batteries.
It was just an HMBI connection.
Yeah, that was slow with that. All right, let's see. All right, that might be on the rest of the video.